Welcome to Heavy Talk. I'm your girl, Heavie Charnice, aka Heavie. I am back in an episode of Heavy Talk. Here to serve some more straight talk with no chaser. Happy Heavy Talk Friday. Happy December. It is a new month. We're almost in the new year. Are you ready? I don't think I'm ready. Let's get right into today's episode. Give you your inspiration, your word of the day. Today's word is help. It's okay to ask for help, whether it's asking for help from your loved ones or seeking help from outside sources. There is no shame in needing help. Why suffer alone? I think this is very timely with what I'm going to talk about at the end of the episode, and that is seasonal depression. I'm going to give you some tips for that. And it's also very timely because I know that a lot of people struggle during the holiday season because not everyone has family or loved ones to spend it with. So if you are someone that's struggling, you might need some outside support. Please reach out for help. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It is a list of resources that you can just use and that you could pull from to get that help that you need. So please seek it out. Do not suffer alone. There is always someone that is here for you, that's willing to talk, that is willing to listen to you. So that's my word of the day. Hope that it was helpful. And as always, make sure that you follow at HeavieTalk on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for daily inspiration and words of the day. And you can also follow me at Heaven Charnice. Now let's get right into our topics for today, kicking it right off with Heavie Sports Corner. Now, if you know me, you should already know what I'm about to talk about. My boy, Aaron Rodgers. If you know me, you know that I am a die-hard Aaron Rodgers fan. That's really how I had come to love the Packers so much, because of Aaron Rodgers. And then once Aaron Rodgers left the Packers to go to the Jets, I became an honorary Jets fan. Still like the Packers though, because I like what they are doing. Jordan Love has finally found his groove. My Packers have an opportunity to make the playoffs. Like, we might run the table and not even have Aaron Rodgers. Not even have Aaron Rodgers. Can you believe it? It just might happen. I seen that the Vikings lost. Think it was that Thanksgiving game, or the game, either the Thanksgiving game or the game right after that. So if the Vikings keep losing, we know that the Bears gonna keep losing. The Giants are not the Giants, the Lions are destined to win. They're looking good right now. So the Lions gonna do what they do. We really gotta worry about the Vikings. If the Vikings keep losing and the Bears keep losing, we're gonna be in there. Keep your eyes on that. Keep your eyes on that. Now let's talk about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has shocked the sports world this week. This week, it was announced that he has returned to practice on a limited basis. And if you can remember, the reason why this is such big news, because in his debut game for the Jets, he tore his Achilles tendon. This was in September. So it is just December, like really September, mid-September, October, November. It's like 2.5 months. And Aaron Rodgers is already in practice, throwing the ball. Now, it's not contact, but he's still at practice. That is record setting. The sports people, like, this is unheard of. Did he not completely tear it? Was it not a complete rupture? Because they're like, there's no way that it was complete tear if this soon he's already at practice. Now, this doesn't automatically mean that he's going to return this season. He's been saying that if the Jets are looking good, if they are a playoff contender, that he may possibly come back. You just never know. That's what he's been saying. But who knows if that's going to happen, because the Jets are not looking good right now. They are currently 4-7. That's pretty bad. So I think that it's pretty doubtful that that's going to happen. It may, though, with the recent benching of Zach Wilson. This has been called for a long time. A lot of Jets fans have been calling for this. A lot of sports commentators, when they do their commentating on the Jets. They've been like, it's time for Zach to get benched. He's just not that good. So after weeks of just all of this talk, he was benched, I believe, in the last game, which made a lot of people happy, but I don't think that that's going to solve all of the problems for the Jets, the similar problems that they are having. With all the problems that the Jets are having, the fans are just not happy. They're not happy whatsoever. They're starting to look at the roster, specifically some of the pickups that the Jets did when they were acquiring Aaron Rodgers. Now, if you heard a couple episodes ago, I just thought that it was very interesting that when Aaron Rodgers came to the Jets, he brought his homies. Quite a bit of the Packers players that he had played with, he brought them over to the Jets. And two of those players in particular either have just not been active for a while or have had quite a few drops and just aren't looking good. Let's start with Allen Lazard. In the last Jets game, he was listed as a healthy scratch. So it's nothing wrong with him, but he's just not playing, essentially. That's what they're saying. This was after quite a few games. He had some significant drops. So when fans heard about this, Allen was trending. The fans was like, the Jets gave him all of this money just for him to, like, not be playing, and there's nothing wrong with him. And that brought up the fact that Randall Cobb, who is a longtime friend of Aaron Rodgers, hasn't been active since week 6. That was quite a while ago. He was last active when they played against the Chiefs. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on all of this. If Aaron Rodgers is possibly coming back, if he's possibly in practice, does this mean that maybe Randall Cobb is going to start playing again? What's the reason why he wasn't playing in the first place? Why was Allen Lazard listed as a healthy scratch for the last game when there was nothing wrong with him? Like, I have so many questions. I'm gonna be watching that. Now let's get into my girl, Angel Reese. Now, I talked about this a couple episodes ago. I said we might have to double back to this because I believe there is something that is happening at LSU, and we, the public, just aren't completely privy to it. When I had seen rumblings of this, it was on Twitter. There was just some speculation that some of the moms of some LSU players were going back and forth on Twitter. Now, just more speculation has been swirling around because noticeably Angel has been absent from the team since November 14th. So that was quite a while ago. She's missed a couple of games, and during her absence, the coach of LSU really hasn't given any concrete answers as to why she's been absent, where she's at, like what's going on. So that just called people to just speculate more and come up with their own stories, and adding that in with the fact that there was some rumors that some of the LSU moms were going back and forth, talking about people got low GPAs. And then some people thought that the mom was talking about Angel Reese. So it was just a lot. And during Angel Reese's absence, she made a social media post that said, "Please don't believe everything you read." So if you already was like, something going on, this would definitely lead you to believe, okay, there's something going on, because why even post that? What's going on here? Maybe things will begin to die down now, because during a recent press conference, the coach of LSU, Kim Mulkey, said that Angel Reese is, quote, "She's coming back after not being with the team. We've moved on." Now, when reporters pressed her about what was going on, why wasn't she with the team, Kim really didn't give any concrete answers. She just left everything very, very vague, which has really caused people to kind of be a little bit hard on her and bring up, I guess, past instances where she wasn't protecting her players by maybe not answering exactly what's going on. She's just leading too much to be assumed, and that can make it very hard on the players and just make it look bad for her. So I've seen a lot of people bringing up Brittany Griner. So I'm going to have to do my research on that and figure out what do they mean when they say she has a long history of not protecting players, specifically in the example of Brittany Griner. So if I figure that out, I'm going to come back and give y'all an update on that. Now let's get into my HBCUs, because as an HBCU grad, the HBCU pride and love runs very deep for me. Let's first start by talking about Wiley University. Wiley University is a Texas-based HBCU. Clap it up for them, because it was announced during this year's homecoming celebrations that they have officially earned university status again, because they have introduced 3 graduate programs. Clap it up for Wiley University. That is big time, big news. According to this article that I read from Clutch Points, the 3 new online focused graduate programs will provide students with the opportunity to pursue a master's degree in higher education administration with the focus on HBCUs, business administration, or criminal justice. This is big. This is great news for the school, because this will hopefully encourage more students to attend the school because they have a graduate program that the student may be interested in. So congratulations to Wiley University. Super proud, super happy for you guys. Now let's talk about some great news that's coming out of Virginia State, another HBCU. Virginia State University is making history. Are you ready? As the first HBCU in the country selected to host a general election presidential debate. Clap it up for Virginia State University. I never knew that an HBCU had never hosted a presidential debate. I never knew that, but now I know. This debate is scheduled for October 1st, 2024. I'm definitely going to watch it, if not already, because it is very, very important to be informed of just everything that's going on in this world, because it will impact you, but especially because it's at an HBCU. And y'all know that I love HBCUs. Now, this HBCU news part is kind of sad, because it's something I've talked about on episodes. The fact that there's a lot of turnaround at HBCUs, specifically with HBCU presidents. A lot of times, just from what I've seen, HBCU presidents don't stay long at the school. They either leave because they resign, or they're retiring. So it just be seeming fishy. And of course, they always take the high road and they don't provide any other information. So when I see this tweet, which I'm going to fact check, and if all of this turns out to be true, I'm going to come back to this. This tweet that I saw was a list of HBCUs that are either looking for a chancellor or a president. So here's the list. Apparently, allegedly, I must say, because I have not gone through and completely fact check all of these from the tweet that I saw. A person made this tweet just about HBCUs that came to mind that they knew were lacking chancellors or presidents. And then people were commenting under that tweet, like, also, I'm an alum, or I'm a student at this school and we're also looking for one, or I'm an alum at this school and we're also looking for one. So that's just how more threads just kept getting added to the tweet. And I know that one for a fact is right, because it's NCAT. And I know that I talked about before that our chancellor is going to retire after this year. And he was the longest tenured chancellor in HBCU history. So I know that NCAT that's on this list is true. So I'm assuming that the other ones are too, but I'm going to fact check and then come back on next episode. But here's the list: Bethune-Cookman University, Texas Southern, Southern University, Alcorn, Grambling, Tennessee State, NCAT, Tuskegee University, Central State University, Langston University, and the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Wowzers. Again, all of these HBCUs are either looking for a chancellor or a president. Now, I can name you the ones for a fact that I know are true because I've talked about this on past episodes. I know for a fact that Texas Southern is looking for a president because I talked about that, and when that lady announced that she was either going to be retiring or resigning. I know for a fact, like I said, that NCAT is looking for a chancellor because that's my alma mater, and I talked about that on a previous episode. I also know that Tennessee State is looking for their president because a long time ago I talked about this page that I follow that was just showing different clips from some type of Tennessee Senate meeting where the Tennessee Senate was questioning the president of TSU just about their handling of enrollment and stuff like that. And then shortly after that, the president of TSU resigned. And I said, now how interesting is that they was pressuring this lady all down on her about the enrollment, like why are so many students going here and not other HBCUs in Tennessee? Like it was just all weird. So I just found it to be even weirder now or then that she had resigned. So I know for a fact that one is true as well. So I'm going to fact check these other ones. This again poses my question of what is with the turnaround in these vacancies at HBCUs with either the president or the chancellor? Do we just be getting sick of dealing with this ish? Is it just too much? Like what be going on here? This needs to be studied. A report, like a study needs to be done on this because it seems like we're just getting pushed out and I don't really like it. Now let me give you some tips for seasonal depression before we get into my favorite segment. If you're not familiar with seasonal depression, it's something that some people experience because of the change in season, which causes which causes it to get dark really early. So that causes some people to experience seasonal depression. So here are some tips that maybe could be helpful for you if you are experiencing it, or just to be proactive to make sure that you don't experience it. The first one is go outside. Of course, if your schedule permits, if you have the time, while it's light outside, do some activities. Try to get as much sunlight as you can. An activity can be as simple as going for a walk. Leading into my second tip, which is to exercise. Exercising has so many benefits, both mentally and physically. It can help with your sleep. It can just help with your mood, of course. You may be more fit. You may lose weight. You may achieve those body goals. So try exercising. And then my last tip is to sleep. Make sure that you are getting enough sleep. I know that it gets darker sooner and it takes longer for the sun to rise, but still make sure that you are maintaining a healthy sleep schedule. Now let's get into all the things that have me like WTF, because the streets have definitely been a raging. Let's start with, I don't watch this show. I've heard about it, but I'm not that familiar with it. I know that social media is crazy about it. The Squid Game, the Challenger. Apparently it's a show that a lot of people like. And an article came out that said players were so desperate for chapstick that they used lubricated condoms on their lips during filming. My. Now, I know when your lips get chapped, it can become pretty uncomfortable, but your solution is to use a lubricated condom. I'm sorry, but that just seems gross to me. Like, I don't know. That just seems disgusting. WTF. And even if you were doing that, I probably would just take that to the grave. Like, I would never say it. It's kind of gross. What is going on with these people getting on planes and like trying to kill everybody on board or like acting a fool? Like, WTF, are y'all okay? Southwest Airlines passenger is hospitalized after opening emergency exit and climbing onto wing. Now, I don't know if I should say luckily, but luckily the plane was not in the sky. It was not moving. It was still on the tarmac. So it's not like that other incident while they were in the air in motion, and I think it was an ex-pilot tried to shut off the engine or something like that, and then another person had tried to open up the emergency exit. Like, what is just going on here? And I like that this article said that the person is hospitalized because clearly something is going on and you need to get evaluated. WTF. I'm going to be anxious when I get on planes. Like, is everybody good? Is y'all gonna try to open the door? This is just sad. This now y'all messing up people money, and y'all got people possibly could be like homeless. This is sad. Some passengers who signed up for traveling for 3 years on a cruise through Life at Sea Cruises have nowhere to go after the company told passengers it has no ship. So I guess there was some type of cruise that people signed up for where you would be traveling on this cruise for 3 years. So since that was the case, and this is what the passengers thought that they would be signing up for, some of them had either sold or rented out their houses in anticipation of the round the world cruise. But this is what the article says. After weeks of silence, the company has acknowledged to passengers that it has no ship and has canceled the departure, vowing to refund those who signed up for cruises costing up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Forget about a refund, even though that's important. WTF, what are the people who already sold or rented out their houses are going to do? Because them people could already sign them contracts. If they sold it, the people who rented could already have people that's in their house. So now you're gonna have to put out somebody else, gonna have to put out somebody. Like, now it's just gonna become a very, very sticky situation. I smell a lawsuit that's coming. WTF. I found these sports related to be very funny. Somebody misspelled, I believe how you say his name. Let me get it right. Victor Wembanyama's name on his jersey. Now, how much money does the NBA have to be misspelling somebody's name? And why is there not a person whose sole job is to just spell check? Because it just looks tacky and just embarrassing. Y'all make too much money to be having mistakes like this. I mean, seriously, this is like, that's real amateur league. Another funny one, sports related. Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf takes sign language classes on off days so he could talk trash to opposing players without getting flagged. Now that man really respect his trash talk where he gonna take sign language classes to still get his trash talk off. I actually love it, sir. I love it. Pretty clever, and you're serious about your trash talking, clearly. I don't know why people keep on messing with these animals in the ocean. Like, this is their home, this is their territory. Why keep playing with them? It's completely beyond me. A crew tries to deter orcas from attacking their boat by blasting heavy metal music underwater. It did not work. Instead, the orcas pummeled the boat's rotor, making it impossible to steer. You thought you was playing with these orcas. You thought that you was going to get them to stop messing with y'all. And no. Now y'all done made it impossible to steer. So y'all was probably stranded or needed to call for help. WT and the F, quit playing with them. Quit playing with these people in their own home. That's some audacity that we have as humans. We're going to take over land and sea. My. More sports related WTF moments. I This just boggled my mind. The NBA is requiring LaMelo Ball to cover a tattoo below his left ear that the league insists violates rules against exposing commercial logos on players' bodies. Y'all got the right to tell somebody what they can have on their person. You can tell him what he can have on his body. Something about that just does not sound right to me. Like I just don't like it. And in reading this article, I think they provided another instance where another player had to do something similar because they had a tattoo of another brand on their body as well. I think it was like J.R. Smith or something like that. I'm gonna have to double check it, but I never knew that was even a thing where they could force a player to cover up a tattoo because it exposes a commercial logo. Like but they can put logos on the player's jersey and make them represent brands that they might necessarily like or want to represent. How interesting is that? A shopping mall mermaid struggled for air when her tail got caught in the aquarium. I actually saw a video of this, which I will share on HeavieTalk Media social media pages, and I've never seen nothing like this ever in my life. The mermaid's tail got stuck on the reef at the bottom of a mall's aquarium tank. In the video, you can clearly see that the lady was struggling for air. She had to just abandon her mermaid suit and just swim back to the top. Look, she had like on some Spanx. I was like, wow. Well, she didn't practice. Did she not know that she was going to get stuck? Well, obviously, it was just a very bizarre situation. This one was creepy. WCF. Didn't even know this was possible, and it makes me want to go take 3 showers. A man found spider eggs in his toe while on a cruise. Yes, I said it right. A man found spider eggs in his toe while on a cruise. The man knew something was wrong with his toe when he noticed his toe had turned purple and started to swell. Who even knew that a spider can nest spider eggs in someone's toe or let alone on any part of their body? Disgusting. A dad told his 15-year-old influencer daughter that she cannot access income until she turns 18 because her other siblings only make pocket money. So because her other siblings don't got the kind of money that she has, she can't have access to her money? How fair is that? So she can't have her money because they don't have none? This is what the dad said. I told my daughter from day one that I will put it away for her so she can access her money when she turns 18. My view is that for as long as she's a minor and unable to make informed financial decisions, she should get by on her allowance, just as my other 2 children do. Why not give her the money and help her learn how to budget and things like that? Why just assume that as soon as she turns 18 that she's going to automatically have those skills? Maybe as soon as she turns 18, she's just going to splurge because she wasn't given those tools now. And your initial reason wasn't just solely because you want her to be able to make informed financial decisions. Your real sole reason was because her other siblings only make pocket money. So you're really holding her money because her other siblings don't have that much. WTF, that don't sound right to me. Don't sound right to me. I don't know why this is not Channel 5 Today's Show #1 nationwide news, because this is a big deal. A search is underway after a pipeline leak that spilled as much as 1.1 million gallons of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. Why have we not heard about this more? I'm in confusion. Authorities are still trying to determine the exact location of the leak. I have so many questions. One, why has there not been more press coverage about this? Two, I guess I already answered my question in my head. How do they even know that it's a leak if they don't know where the leak is? And three, how are they going to find the exact location of the leak? How did it get in there in the first place? That wraps up everything that happened like WTF for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining in. Hope that you enjoyed it. Happy Talk Friday. Happy December. Start your month off on the right note. We are almost in a new year. I know a lot of people have New Year's resolutions, but don't wait until the new year to try something new, to jump into action, to just pivot. Do it now. Why wait? Because you just never know what tomorrow holds. I hope that you all stay safe, combat seasonal depression if you are dealing with it, or if you're not, just simply stay proactive. I will catch you here, same place, same time for more Straight Talk with No Chaser. I'm your girl, Heavie, aka Heavie, and I'm out.